do you send your information to? I mean, just think about your business and who are you reaching out to?
There's marketing efforts, there's sales efforts, there's customer service efforts, all of those customer emotions and data, all live within the CRM.
For you to be a successful thought leader, you need to be somebody who is thought of when people think about your subject.
At Growth, we strive to do great business with companies who do great business.
And once again, welcome, and everybody, thank you guys for joining us. Really excited to have you guys here.
Cool, and that does it. People start joining in. Welcome in, everybody. As always, my name is Rick Barcelos. I'm the community manager and host of these micro lessons. Today I'm pumped because we're going to be talking about a really popular topic for everybody right now, which is TikTok and how to do it right. And joining me, I have Tiffany Richardson. But you guys are not here to hear from me. You're here for Tiffany. So Tiffany, please take it from here. It's all yours.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rick. So excited to take everyone through today. Definitely want to make the most of everybody's time. So I'm actually going to get right into my presentation that I've prepared for everybody today. Awesome. Rick, can you give me a thumbs up that you could see my screen here? Perfect. 2 thumbs up. We're going to go ahead and start with my favorite topic, which is myself. Want to let you guys know a little bit more about me. I did take somewhat of an untraditional path to college, starting with a gap year, because I really just had no idea what I wanted to do when I graduated high school. Especially because I attended 13 schools myself between kindergarten and 12th grade. I really needed time to figure things out. After my gap year, I attended community college and then ended up at UCF, where I majored in interpersonal and organizational communications and minored in psychology. And that's really what unlocked my interest in consumer behavior and human connection, which really laid the groundwork for where I am today. So after graduating UCF, I started my career in traditional advertising, working as an Orlando-based ad agency before transitioning into influencer marketing back in 2013. Really at that time, it was just mommy blogs and maybe a little bit of Facebook posts or celebrity tweets here and there. But having started in that influencer marketing world so early, I really saw the rise and fall of platforms like Instagram, Periscope, Vine, and obviously now TikTok. My role at my previous company quickly pivoted, and in 2015, I moved to Chicago to work with clients more directly. And during my tenure, I actually had the really unique experience of getting to help ring the NASDAQ bell, as pictured here, when the company uplisted in 2016. During my time there, I worked with brands like Amazon, Nationwide, and Frito-Lay, and plenty of CPG brands in between. After I had my son in 2022, I really felt that the time that I spent away from him had to really ignite my passion. So I looked both inwards and outwards, and that's what led me to Song Candy Media, where I am today. And it's been a perfect fit for me because of its focus on the TikTok platform, which truly excites me. With over 10 years of experience in social marketing, I'm passionate about how TikTok really levels the playing field for both brands and creators. If you create quality, trendy content that resonates with your target audience, you have just as much chance to show up on their feed as anybody else's. And at Song Candy Media, I've really been lucky to work with brands like Jack in the Box, Paramount, and Living Proof. And I'm really excited to share you guys, a little bit more on the power of what I'm calling community marketing through TikTok platform. So highlighting today's topics, we're going to really cover off on 3 key topics here. One being understand what community marketing is, in case you're unfamiliar. Tailoring your content specifically for TikTok, giving you a little sneak peek here, but what you use on Instagram shouldn't be used on TikTok, and likely vice versa. And then learning ways to engage with your audience on TikTok and really gaining that community. So some of you may be wondering, what exactly is community marketing? So community marketing marks a significant shift from traditional marketing approaches. It's all about moving from voyeurism to participation, from megaphone marketing to emotional connection, and earning attention to inspiring action. In the next slide, I'll be breaking down the key differences between what we're calling kind of traditional marketing and now community marketing, showing how community marketing really moves beyond conventional strategies to create deeper, more meaningful engagement. So let's go ahead and dive into how community marketing has evolved from traditional social marketing and explore the ways and key differences that have really shifted the focus from passive engagement into active participation. So in the last slide, I talked about how we want to transform voyeurism into participation. So traditionally, social marketing has evolved around voyeurism, where audience are passive consumers. They watch, like, and maybe occasionally comment on content, but they actually aren't involved in the process. With community marketing, we want to move away from that passive approach into participation. Here, community members become more than just spectators. They're contributors and co-creators. This really creates more of a dynamic and engaged environment, fostering a sense of belonging and ownership within that community. It's really just about making people feel like they are a part of something, not just observing from the sidelines. Megaphone marketing to emotional connection. So in traditional social marketing, we often see a megaphone approach, broadcasting messages to a broad audience without any personalization or interaction. It's really about delivering a message and really just hoping it sticks. With community marketing, the focus shifts to creating an emotional connection. Instead of shouting at a crowd, brands listen, understand, resonate with the emotions, values, and interests of those in their community. This leads to more personal and meaningful interactions, which turn, stronger loyalty and advocacy. Next up is earning attention and turning that into inspiring action. So the traditional model is about earning attention, crafting campaigns designed to grab an audience focus through compelling content. It's a one-way transaction. Watch this, listen to this. I think we're all, consumers of those types of ads. Community marketing, however, goes beyond just being noticed. It's about inspiring action. Here's where brands motivate their community members to participate in initiatives, share experiences, and spread the messages on their own. This really creates that authentic engagement, leading to a ripple effect where community drives the conversation naturally. Oh, my builds are not building. Now that we've covered on what community marketing is, let's talk about the real impact it can have on a brand. So first and foremost is stronger brand loyalty. So community marketing builds emotional connections, leading to long-term loyalty. When people feel involved, they stick with the brand and become loyal advocates. Next is that increased advocacy. Engaged communities naturally promote the brand, turning members into ambassadors who spread the word through social media and word of mouth. Next up is enhanced brand perception. By actively engaging and listening to your community, you enhance your brand's reputation, creating a perception of authenticity and trust. And of course, we wouldn't all be on this call today if we didn't want some level of growth. So community marketing really drives that sustainable growth. Instead of relying on one-off campaigns that you hope, quote, go viral or really stick, it builds a loyal base that supports long-term success. So now that we've covered on what community marketing is, let's dive into how you can apply this philosophy into your TikTok strategy yourself. So first is really understanding your industry, and you want to start by researching your industry. You could do this by looking at key topics and trends relevant to your industry, such as news, challenges, and success stories. Following industry leaders and influencers on TikTok to see what content and hashtags they're using. These types of things will really help you understand what's resonating with your target audience. Next up is using the TikTok search function. There's actually been a few articles that have been released lately that said that the TikTok search toolbar is being used more than the Google search toolbar across some key demographics. So use that to your power and use keywords related to your business. This will show you the most popular videos and hashtag associated with those terms. And definitely take some time to explore related hashtags and content and see what kind of rabbit hole you could get down to really expand your content ideas. Then you need to conduct a competitor analysis. So check out those same hashtags your competitors are using and monitor against their engagement metrics. Which ones are performing well for them? Which ones aren't? Are there any that you identified in your previous couple of steps that maybe is a white space that your competitors aren't using that you could double down on? This is really going to give you insights into which hashtags and content strategies are most effective in your space and what is an opportunity that you can maybe own on your own. It's also important at this stage to really start running ads. I know some people are against that, but you need to start having a following in order to build a community. Obviously, you want to start with, asking your friends and your connections on LinkedIn and your family to follow you. But beyond that, you really need to, parallel path all of these other things I'm going to talk about today, and also start building a community through a follower or an awareness type of campaign. This is going to help your content and your business get seen by a wider audience. Then you're going to create content, which is very, very important, which we'll get to later in today's micro lesson, and engage with your audience as you make that content. Making sure that you respond to comments and using relevant hashtags. Engaging directly helps you stay visible and build a stronger presence within that community too. Of course, you also need to stay updated. You need to rinse and repeat these steps quite regularly. Competitors pop up all the time, new hashtags, new needs, new problems, new solutions. Trends change so quickly, and so does the TikTok platform. So regularly monitoring these trends are going to make you more ready to adapt and meet those needs of your community. I really want you guys to experiment with different hashtags and content types to see what sticks. I think the beautiful thing about TikTok in comparison to other platforms is it's very lo-fi in nature. So it doesn't have to be this big curated post to really see success. And it's a really safe space to try like an A/B test different strategies to see which one resonates the most with your audience on that platform. Now that you understand how to apply the community marketing philosophy, let's talk about bringing it to life through content, specifically tailoring content for TikTok. So content for TikTok is really crucial because the platform has its own unique characteristics, user behaviors, and content expectations that are very different from other social media platforms. In order to be successful on TikTok, you really need to create content that aligns with that format, trends, and what users enjoy. As I mentioned previously, you don't want something that's overly curated, that's giving off more of an Instagram type of post. You want something that feels like almost like you're FaceTiming a friend in marketing, or a best friend telling about a product you just heard about. That's really what performs well on the TikTok platform. TikTok is known for its short form, highly engaging and trend driven nature. And with that, you can maximize engagement, reach, and the overall effectiveness of your marketing campaigns. The more the content feels authentic and in tune with TikTok's style, the more likely you are to connect with your audience and build that stronger sense of community that we talked about earlier. I'm going to walk you through a couple examples of brands that we've actually partnered with here at Song Candy to create content for their TikTok channels. So these examples will show you how we tailored each approach to fit TikTok's unique style and target audience of each brand. Before I play these examples for you, it is important to remember that the TikTok algorithm is a game changer. It's why I love TikTok over other platforms, not only as a consumer, but as a marketer. The beauty of the platform is that no matter how many followers you have, if you create quality, trendy content that resonates with your target audience, you have just as much of a chance of showing up in a consumer's feed as anybody else. This really levels the playing field and gives every brand, no matter how big or small, an opportunity to reach a wider audience through smart, creative content. So with that, I want to show 3 examples that I have here. This first one is for Hum Kombucha, and this is us leveraging a popular trend on TikTok, which was the Wes Anderson trend that kind of went a little viral around this time last year. So here we leveraged a trend that was already ongoing on the platform and found a way to integrate our client and their messaging into that ongoing trend. This next example is for QuickBooks, which they were really, sort of a B2B target. They really wanted to target small business owners to be able to utilize their services for their businesses. So for them, we took more of a creating a relatable approach, like something that feels like, wow, this is something I go through. So play a couple seconds of this one.
3, 2, 1. And the website is live. I think that was our first customer. Second customer. Yes. We're gonna be rich. And the website is live.
Awesome. So something really relatable and something that could really bring you in and finding humor. This next one is providing edutainment. So edutainment is education and entertainment. It's a type of piece of content that we see perform well across all verticals. This was for First Aid Beauty, which is they have lotions and creams and different things like that. And so what we did was we actually ordered a bunch of old beauty magazines from the 90s, and we wanted to see if it aged well, meaning could we try those same tips and tricks that were found in the magazines back in the 90s, and do they still work? So I'll play a couple seconds of this. And again, this was an ongoing series that the brand had on their channel.
Welcome to That Didn't Age Well. This is a series where I test beauty tips and tricks from 90s and 2000s magazines to see if they're worth bringing back or not. Today we're flipping through Cosmo Girl. There's 10 DIY spa treatments to try, so let's go ahead and take a look inside.
So you can see that all three of those videos really leaned into that entertainment angle, the trend, relatability, and edutainment. None of these were hard sells of the products. They were really just meant to bring in an audience and bring in a community. The last topic I want to discuss today is engaging with your audience. Think of it like inviting everyone to a party, and once they arrive, you have to entertain them to keep them around. In the same way, now that you've got your audience's attention, you have to actively engage with them. Otherwise, they're going to leave, just like someone would leave a party if there was no food or drinks or entertainment there. Engaging with your audience really builds trust, loyalty, and a personal connection with your brand. It humanizes your content, making your followers feel valued, and it also boosts your organic reach because TikTok's algorithm rewards interactions such as likes, comments, and shares. The more you engage, the more visibility your content gets. By consistently engaging, you can foster strong communities and encourage ongoing participation, leading to deeper relationships with your audience and a more loyal fan base. Now that you know why engagement is important, let's take a look at some ways that you can actively engage with your audience on TikTok. So one way, pretty straightforward, is replying to comments. We want you to regularly respond to followers' comments or use TikTok's reply with a video feature to address questions or showcase fun interactions. This makes your audience feel both heard and valued. You want to use polls and Q&A. So post polls or ask questions in your videos to encourage questions in feedback or discussions. This brings followers into the fold and helping them feel more involved. Go live, as we are today, hosting live sessions to interact with your audience in real time, whether it's a product reveal, a Q&A, or just chatting. Live sessions are a great way to build a personal connection with your follower. And last but not least, which is what TikTok is really known for, is create trending content. Participate in TikTok trends that align with your brand. By doing this, you could show that your brand is tuned into the platform's culture, which can increase your visibility and relevance. At the end of the day, consumers don't just buy a brand or a product, they're buying the beliefs that the brand has too, whether it's the CEO, whether it's the companies or nonprofits that the brand support. You've got to give them more of a reason than just I have this tool and it's made for you, because right now the market is really so saturated. So by utilizing trends and content, humanizing yourself, it really opens you up into more of a reason for consumers to follow you and engage with you, which is really what's most important. That is all I have for now. Would love to answer any questions that you guys have. So I'll pass the mic back over to you, Rick.